Hello, welcome back to Chosen for Johnson. Today we are still here in the best month of the year, October, which is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. I actually have our favorite homie with an extra chromie playing right over there. So if you see a small tornado, it is him. We are at our time of day. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning where, oh, no touching. Come here. Where we sit and play very destructively. So that's what's happening. He's playing. Here's your water. So I don't know how efficient making this video is going to be right now, but you know what? We are sure going to try. We are sure going to try. So for this video on Down Syndrome Awareness Month, the thing I want to talk about, and thank you so much. I would like to talk about George's therapy schedule, his regimen, what he's doing. Yeah, say hi. No touching. And our goals and stuff like that for each of them. This is going to be happening a lot, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. This is where we're at, and so this is how it's going to be. So welcome to our video all about George's therapies. Okay, so the very first thing... Yeah, I know. The first thing that we should talk about when we talk about George's therapy, please don't press buttons, is that George, when he turned 18 months in the state of Michigan through earlier intervention, they graduate from their baby program and go, yeah, you did, and graduate to their, do you see mama? And they graduate to the toddler program. So when COVID shut our in-person therapies down in March, was the last time that George ever went in person to his baby program in person. So we did it virtually the whole time. So now George has graduated to a new building with a new team of therapists and obviously different goals and different things that they're focusing on because he's a toddler, not a baby. He's still my baby though. But, so we have a whole new team. We had to meet them all masked, you know, and they're great. We're really excited. They seem really good, but this is a perfect moment to say that I think every parent who has put their kid in early intervention as a baby knows if you get lucky enough to have a team of early intervention therapists that you love as much as we did, we are so very, very fortunate. We miss them and we love them. We were so grateful for our time and our... Do you see, Mom? Don't touch it. Yeah. We were so grateful. We loved them so much. They were so valuable to our family. Yeah, right there. So we are very, very sad to see them go. But we're excited for his new routine. So here's what George's therapy schedule looks like. Yes, that's right. No buttons, please. So George is taking 3 therapies right now, and a 4th is getting added in a little bit. The 3 therapies he is taking are physical therapy, occupational therapy, and developmental therapy, pre-speech kind of thing. So I want to go through and talk about each one of those and what his goals are. So the first therapy that we started when we started back was back into physical therapy, PT. George is a new physical therapist, obviously. We love physical therapy. It's been so helpful for him. He does pretty well in terms of physical development. He's walking, he's starting to run, he's doing all that, but it is good to have a therapist there to help us to keep him on track and to challenge him. So we get therapy services every other week, and it's a one-on-one every other week with me, him, and his physical therapist. So it's very safe. Everyone's masked. Temperature checks, very thorough COVID screenings before we can come in, so it's very safe. So right now, right now what he's working on in PT is climbing is a big one. Ooh, no somersaults, please. No somersaults. No somersaults. Climbing is a really big one. We are working on climbing. George is a pretty good climber, but we want to make sure that he's doing it safely. We don't have stairs in our house. We only have stairs that go into our basement, and it's unfinished. We don't really go in there. He never does. But he will encounter stairs, so we are learning how to go up and down stairs safely. Their goal is to... Thank you so much for this. Where did you find this? So their goal is to have him go upstairs like 1 foot at a time, either holding a rail or holding a hand, and to go downstairs backwards on his belly. He does climb down things backwards off his belly. Like if he climbs up on the couch, he does turn around and go down the right way. So he like flips and he goes down and slides down belly. on his stomach. So his back is facing out, stomach facing the couch or whatever. So he does that pretty good. Never face first, always feet first. So they want to continue to reinforce that, and they want to start working on him going up steps. He can do like short steps, but that is one of the things that they are actively working on. Physical therapy is a lot of gross motor skills, so a lot of like movement and stuff like that. They're also working on coordination with him, like hand-eye, things like that. So we've been doing a lot of playing catch with a ball, rolling a ball, kicking a ball, throwing a ball, things like that. He's asking me to read him a book now. Hold on one second. So that is physical therapy. We are working on climbing, catching, throwing, things like that. In occupational therapy is my favorite therapy. It is so fun for me to watch. I really, really love it. He does the same schedule. We see her once every other week for an hour on a one-on-one session. What she is working on with him is a lot of like fine motor. So things like we are working on George using utensils. He's getting pretty good at it, but he definitely needs some help on it. So a lot of scooping and sticking. We're working on the pincer grasp. She gave us a couple really fun exercises to try to get that grasp going so that when he grabs food, it's not like a mess, and that he can like really get good at that. And tool use is something that she wants us to work on. So things like hitting utensils is a big one, but another one is like taking a hammer and hitting a fake nail, or, you know, banging. We have a toy that's like you hit a ball into a little maze thing, and so using a tool to have some kind of result, and he's really taken off with that. That's been really good. Oh, also, it's a new occupational therapist, and so this is not the therapist that worked with us when George had such really tough times with please don't touch it, with tactile defensiveness. It is a new therapist. So we did fill her in on all of that. I made a video about his tactile defensiveness. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about. But she definitely wants to make sure that she continues to work on his sensory and all of that stuff to make sure that his tactile defensiveness stays where it is now. So we really, really love that. We love OT. OT is my most favorite. So I guess like while physical therapy is gross motor, occupational therapy is more fine motor. At least that's my interpretation of it, but they are both very, very helpful, and he learns a lot with both of them. The third therapy that George is taking right now is developmental therapy, or pre-speech, and he takes this with a certified teacher, with an early education teacher. This is a really fun one because this is just really to help his like development, and so some things that she is working on with him is following directions and some social skills and baby signs. She's very excited that he likes to sign. She's working right now, she did something so fun to help him get used to transitions. And so, you know, kiddos with Down syndrome and just children in general sometimes have a hard thing. You all right? Nice. Kids sometimes have a hard time transitioning from one activity to the next, and George definitely falls into that. So she made up a day. Oh Lord, George, that's a really good one. It's mainly like she's mainly trying to get him to follow the directions. So if she says, okay, when I turn the lights off, we have to go in here, you know, and so it's stuff like that. And they have a big Mickey Mouse painted on the outside of by the entrance, and so she's trying to get him in the habit of saying like, let's go see Mickey when it's time to go home, so when he hears Mickey, he knows that it's time to go home. So just like really cool things like that I never would have thought of. And his teacher always gives us really good advice about like solving behavioral issues, you know. So if he's having a hard time at, you know, meals, here are some things that you could do to make it easier. So those are the things that he's working on in his developmental therapy. So that's what we have right now. George is only enrolled in the state. He's in the oven, hold on. Okay, I got him. He didn't get into the oven. He's learned how to open the oven. We have a new oven coming that locks toddlers. So those are kind of where we're at right now. That's what we have going on. It's not overwhelming at all. He is at most doing 2 hours a week of therapy right now, which is the least he's ever done. But just because of COVID and things like that, I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with where he is developmentally. So I'm not super worried. that his therapy and COVID are going to have a negative effect on him long term. I'm not at all. I think one of the reasons I want to talk about this during Down Syndrome Awareness Month is that I think that the act of taking your child to therapy is sometimes one of the things that is really hard for people to grapple with and like to come to terms with when that they're going to have to do that with their child. And you know, it's definitely a really hard part. You know, it can be really hard, it can be really stressful, and you know, it's overwhelming sometimes, you know, to have so many people that are bringing stuff to you to help him, and you know, the knowledge that he needs all these people to help him, you know, I think can be hard, I think can be overwhelming. But very, very fortunately for us, our team has been so wonderful the whole time, and I really want to encourage people that if, you know, there is no shame in your child needing extra help or having additional needs. And that's one of the narratives that I want to be a part of, the shift of that, like, your child not developing typically does not make your child any less worthy or any less anything. It just makes your child different. And so that's what I really like about these therapists, is that they just meet him where he's at and they push him to the next thing. They don't stress if he's developmentally delayed. They don't stress if he's doing something 6 months later than he should be. You know, they meet him where he's at and they help him get to the next thing. And I've really worked on reframing it as this is a tool for my son. This is like school for him, I feel like. It is school. It's a public school. But so I just want to encourage that during Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and share that the therapy part of it is hard, but it is so, so, so worth it. It is such a beautiful thing that we have. It's been such a tool and such an asset to us that I want to get all of my children enrolled in earlier intervention therapy with or without a diagnosis. But I know that's not how it works. But if I could, I'd take all my kids to do all this. It's been so helpful. And so, yeah, it's just a great thing. I love therapy. I love taking him to therapy. I love using it as a tool to help him. I love watching him grow. I like seeing him interact with people. It's one of my most favorite things, actually, about the whole diagnosis. So that is our video for today during Down Syndrome Awareness and Appreciation Month. We have more stuff coming up. It might slow down a little bit because his surgery is next week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video. It's the last one before this one, so go watch that. I've got lots of fun videos planned. The next one is going to be with Kyle, about a father's perspective. So, yeah, Dad, that's right. Who's not on this channel as often as I would like for him to be, because his job is busier than mine is. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back soon, and have a great day. Bye.